There are games that succeed because they arrive at the right time. And then there are games that arrive too early, too ambitious, too different, too far ahead of what players were expecting. For a lot of players in the late 90s, that game was Shenmue. Before Shenmue, most games followed familiar structures, levels, missions, clear objectives, clear progression. Even open games still felt like games. They were designed to keep you moving, keep you engaged, keep you progressing. Shenmue didn't rush you. It didn't push you forward constantly. It didn't feel like it was trying to entertain you every second. Instead, it let you exist. From the very beginning, that difference is clear. You're not thrown into action. You're not immediately tested. You're placed into a world, a real place, a home, a street, a town. And the game doesn't tell you to run through it. It lets you walk, open drawers, look at objects, talk to people. Not because you need to, but because you can.
I'm looking for someone.
That level of interaction was almost unheard of at the time. It wasn't just about what you could do. It was about how detailed everything felt. Every room had purpose. Every object felt placed intentionally. Every interaction felt grounded. You weren't just playing a game. You were inhabiting a space. And that shift is important, because Shenmue didn't treat the player like someone moving through content. It treated the player like someone living inside a world. There's a difference between those two ideas, and Shenmue leaned heavily into the second. Time passed in real time. Day turned to night. Shops opened and closed. Characters followed routines. If you missed someone, you had to wait. That design choice alone was revolutionary, because it meant the world didn't revolve around you. You had to adapt to it, not the other way around. And that created something rare, a sense of realism, not visual realism, but behavioral realism.
Yes.
The world felt like it existed independently, and that independence made it feel alive. But it also made it feel slow,
It says Tajima.
especially for players expecting constant action. Because Shenmue didn't fill every moment with excitement. It filled it with presence. You might spend time
Don't
just
worry.
walking
I'll
through the
look for it.
streets,
Wait for me in
listening
that
to
park up ahead.
ambient sounds, observing people, waiting for something to happen. And for some players that felt boring, but for others, it felt immersive. Because real life isn't constant action. It's quiet moments, small interactions, waiting, observing. Shenmue captured that in a way games hadn't done before. The story itself unfolded gradually. It wasn't rushed. It wasn't constantly pushed forward. You had to seek it out, talk to people, follow leads, pay attention. And that pacing made the narrative feel grounded, more like an investigation than a mission. You weren't just completing objectives. You were learning, discovering, understanding. That process required patience. And patience wasn't something games often demanded at the time. Most games rewarded speed, efficiency, immediate action. Shenmue rewarded attention, time, curiosity. And that difference is why it felt ahead of its time. Because the industry wasn't built around that kind of experience yet. Players weren't used to it. They didn't expect it. And expectations matter. Because when something doesn't match expectation, it can feel wrong, even if it's doing something innovative.
How about a game?
Shenmue introduced
Game.
systems that would
You
later
sink the
become
ball in
standard.
one shot, you
Open
win.
world design,
And I'll
dynamic
answer your questions.
NPC routines,
But you
environmental
miss, I
interaction, side
Buy me
activities,
a bourbon.
mini-games.
Okay?
All of these ideas exist in modern games. But at the time,
on.
they were
Just have to
unusual,
make the shot,
even
right?
strange.
Try your luck.
Working a job in a game, waiting for a shop to open, following a character's daily routine. These weren't common ideas. They were experimental. And experiments don't always succeed immediately because they challenge players. They ask them to engage differently, to slow down, to observe, to think.
Missed.
Shenmue wasn't trying to be exciting all the time.
Thanks, kid.
It was trying to be believable, and believability takes time. There's also something important about how the game presented its world. It didn't rely on constant UI elements. It didn't overwhelm you with information. It trusted you to explore, to notice details, to piece things together. That trust is rare, because it means letting the player miss things. It means allowing quiet moments. It means not controlling every second of the experience. And that lack of control can feel uncomfortable, especially in a medium where players expect direction. But it also creates something powerful. Agency. You decide what to do, where to go, how to spend your time. Even if the story has structure, your experience within it feels personal. That personal experience is what makes Shenmue memorable, not specific moments, but the feeling of being there. Walking through the town, hearing the sounds, seeing the environment change over time, those memories aren't about action. They're about atmosphere, and atmosphere is harder to achieve than spectacle, because it relies on subtlety, on pacing, on restraint. Shenmue had restraint. It didn't try to overwhelm players, it tried to immerse them, and that's a different goal. Looking back now, it's easier to appreciate what Shenmue was doing, because modern games have caught up. Open-world games are common, detailed environments are expected, NPC routines are standard. But at the time, none of that was guaranteed. Shenmue was building something new, without a clear roadmap, without established expectations. And that's why it feels ahead of its time, because it introduced ideas that the industry wasn't ready to fully embrace yet. Players weren't used to that level of detail, that level of patience, that level of immersion. And because of that, reactions were mixed. Some players loved it, others didn't understand it. And that divide is often what happens with games that arrive too early. They're appreciated later, once the industry evolves, once players adjust, once expectations change. Shenmue didn't fail because it was bad. It struggled because it was different, because it asked for something new, and new ideas take time to settle. Now looking back, it's clear how influential it was. Not always directly, but conceptually. It showed what was possible. It showed that games could simulate life, not just action, that they could create worlds that felt lived in, not just designed, that they could slow down and still be engaging. That kind of thinking shaped future games, even if those games approached it differently, even if they refined it, simplified it, made it more accessible. The foundation was there, and Shenmue laid it. That's what makes it important, not just as a game, but as a moment, a point where the medium shifted slightly, where possibilities expanded, even if not everyone recognized it at the time. Because being ahead of your time often means not being fully understood. It means creating something that doesn't fit current expectations, something that feels unusual, even uncomfortable. But eventually, the industry catches up, players catch up, and what once felt strange starts to feel normal. And when that happens, you look back and realize just how far ahead it really was. Shenmue didn't try to follow trends. It created ideas. Ideas that would take years to fully develop, years to become standard, years to be appreciated. And that's why it's remembered the way it is. Not just as a Dreamcast game, but as something bigger, something ambitious, something different, something ahead of its time.
shall appear from a far eastern land across the sea. A young man who has yet to know his potential. This potential is a power that could either destroy him or realize his will. His courage shall determine his fate. The path he must traverse, fraught with adversity, I await whilst praying. For this destiny predetermined since ancient times. A pitch-black night unfolds with the morning star as its only light. And thus the saga begins.
But master gaming, take control. Let